Have you ever wondered if the real key to changing a nation is actually found inside its classrooms? Well, today, we're diving into a really powerful vision for the future of education in Nepal. It's all inspired by a fantastic article from Rajendra Prasad Joshi. We're going to break down the skills our students absolutely need to thrive and figure out how we can empower our teachers to make it all happen. And this right here, this single idea, is really our starting point. I just want to say a huge thank you to Rajendra Prasad Joshi for this incredible analysis, and also to Bishwash Kabar for publishing it and giving it a platform. This quote, it frames education as so much more than just learning facts. It's the actual engine for a country's progress. It's such a powerful way to look at everything we're about to talk about. All right, so here's our roadmap for this journey. We're going to start with the big vision. Then we'll break down the specific skills our future generations really need. After that, we'll get into what I think is the most crucial piece of the puzzle, the teacher. And finally, we'll zoom out and see what this all means for Nepal as a whole. So the core idea here is actually pretty simple. In a world that is always changing, just knowing a bunch of facts isn't going to cut it anymore. Education has to make a major shift, right? Away from just transferring knowledge and towards building the tools that students need to actually go out and shape their own futures. Okay, but before we can build that future, we have to be honest about the present. And the article points out a really key challenge, a traditional teacher-in-the-front model that's still pretty common in a lot of Nepal's schools. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got the old way of doing things. The teacher lectures, students memorize, and it's all about passing the exam. But on the other side, you have this modern, student-focused approach, where the process of learning and building real skills is what truly matters. It's a total shift from just memorizing stuff to actually being able to do things. So if we're moving away from that rote learning, what exactly are we moving towards? Well, this is where it gets exciting. The article proposes this really powerful solution that's built on 5 core skills. This is the new foundation for modern education. And here they are, the 5 pillars that hold up all of 21st century learning. You know, the goal here isn't just to help a student get an A in one subject. It's about equipping them with these fundamental skills that they're going to use for the rest of their lives, no matter what they do. Just think about how powerful a simple activity like this can be. When you ask a student to write a new ending to a story, you're not just testing their vocabulary. You're building their imagination, you're boosting their confidence, and you're teaching them to think beyond the limits of the page. It's brilliant. This one is huge. It's all about shifting away from that frantic hunt for the single right answer. Instead, the real value is placed on the student's own thinking process. Questions like, what would you do, are amazing because they force students to analyze, to weigh options, and to make decisions. You know, the skills you actually need in real life. Now, what I love about this is that it taps into a real cultural strength. Collaboration is already so deeply rooted in Nepali society. So by using things like pair work and role-playing in the classroom, you're not just teaching communication, you're building on an existing foundation to help kids learn respect and how to really listen to each other. Let's be real. Today's students are digital natives. Technology is a language they already speak fluently. So the key isn't just using gadgets for the sake of it, but integrating them with a purpose. Using games, videos, and interactive stories to make learning way more engaging and, honestly, more effective. Okay, so those 5 skills are the what, but the how is just as important, right? How do we actually bring these incredible ideas to life in every single classroom? The article points to one very clear answer. We have to empower the educators themselves. I absolutely love this metaphor from the source. Professional development isn't some optional extra. It's the backbone. It's the Marudanda. Without that strong, continuous support and opportunities for our teachers to grow, the entire educational system, well, it just can't stand tall. And this is so critical. We're not talking about some one-off, boring training seminar. Instead, the article is calling for a continuous culture of learning. Things like peer teaching and mentorship create a system where teachers are constantly supporting each other's growth, making improvement just a normal, ongoing part of the job. Honestly, this is a total game changer. It transforms the teacher's role from someone who just delivers a lesson to a researcher who's actively investigating what works best for their own students. It's about making decisions in the classroom based on real evidence, not just on assumptions. But empowerment isn't just about getting external support and learning new methods. The article makes a powerful case that it also requires developing a crucial internal skill for every single teacher, and that's the power of reflection. This cycle is described as the very soul of professional development, and it's such a simple but powerful process. Just asking, what happened in my class today? Why did it happen that way? And what am I going to do differently next time? This is what turns teaching from a static job into a dynamic journey of constant improvement. So, when you combine these incredible 21st century skills with teachers who are empowered and reflective, what do you get? You get the potential for a complete and total transformation of Nepal's entire educational landscape. But the article is also very realistic, which is important. It doesn't pretend this is easy. It acknowledges the huge hurdles, like the resource gap between city and village schools, and the very real need for more training and policy support to make this vision a reality for every single student in Nepal. And this is the ultimate goal. This vision completely redefines what it means to be a teacher. They're no longer just standing at the front of the room delivering information. They become facilitators of curiosity. They become motivators. They become researchers in their own classrooms. They are lifelong learners who can ignite that same passion in their students. And so, this whole explainer, based on the visionary work of Rajendra Prasad Joshi, leaves us with this one big, powerful question. It's not just about teaching subjects anymore. It's about empowering every single teacher to become a builder of the nation's future. Thank you so much for joining me.